all of the keys to your Rockingham house that you have on a single keychain?
You mean in 1994?
Correct. June of 1994.
What do you mean?
Well, in other words, the keychain that had the key that you used to get in the Rockingham gate,
Yeah,
that also had some other keys,
I believe so, yeah.
including the front door, right?
Yes,
How many keys to get into your front door are needed?
one.
Is that the same key as the Rockingham gate key?
Yes.
They're keyed alike, right?
Pardon me?
Same key to use
Yes.
both. And
Yeah.
does that key operate any other exterior doors on going to your home?
Yes.
And which ones?
My bedroom, my closet, and every other lock that's in my house.
So all the locks in your house, including interior locks, work off of one key?
Yes,
And that would include the exterior front door key and the Rockingham gate key.
that's right.
So did you have any other keys on that chain that had to do with the Rockingham property?
I don't think so.
Okay. What other keys did you have on there, if any?
I don't know. I know there were other keys on there, but I don't know what they were for.
Is that where your car key to the Bronco is also?
No.
To the Bentley?
Probably, yes.
The Bronco is on a separate car
Yeah.
keychain of its own?
Yes.
And is there anything else on that keychain?
No.
When you went to put the stuff in the case and close the door, Cato was talking to you. You asked Park for a flashlight.
Oh, Cato may have asked. I may have asked
He hasn't
Cato.
finished in his compound,
Okay.
and I don't know
Well,
what you mean about the stuff. And
Let me
and you're-
let me withdraw that question. When you were going back to the front door to put the stuff that you were carrying, I guess the case, I should say, into the grip bag, and to close the front door, you then encountered Cato, and he was talking to you, right?
Yeah, Cato had been talking to me, or I had been watching Cato talking or hearing him speak almost ever since I first walked out the second time I walked out the front door.
Now, when you saw Cato at that moment, and did you then go back inside?
What moment?
That moment when you returned from the Bronco?
Yes.
Where did you go inside the house?
What did I do or where did I go?
Where did you go?
I was on my way to the kitchen, and I went in the kitchen.
What did you do in the kitchen?
Got a drink of water. Basically.
And then you left?
Yes, basically.
And did you carry your grip bag in with you?
No, I did carry a bag in with me, but not the grip bag.
The grip bag was still on the floor outside between the two benches?
Yes,
And what bag did you carry into the house with you?
a ball bag.
Where did that ball bag come from?
It was on the ground outside,
Where outside?
by where I was chipping balls behind my Bentley.
What was in that ball bag?
Balls.
Anything else?
Maybe, I don't know, balls, maybe a golf glove.
Golf glove.
Yeah.
And how did that bag with balls and a golf glove in it get on the ground near your Bentley?
When I was picking balls out of the back of my Bentley from taking with me to Chicago and for chipping away, I dropped the bag. After I picked out, I dropped the bag on the ground.
And you just left it there?
Yes,
Why?
because I was
Why not?
doing other things.
Why did you leave the bag on the ground when you closed up your Bentley trunk and went inside?
Because I was doing other things.
Did you just forget, you mean?
Yes.
Had you not forgotten, you would have put the bag back in the trunk and closed the trunk?
Possibly, yes, possibly.
When you, and then when did you pick up that bag to go inside the house?
When I came back from the Bentley for getting my cell phone stuff.
Did you get the cell phone out of the Bentley?
No,
Did
You
you
just
say, when
said-
you said Bentley, you said getting cell phone out of the Bentley. Did you mean
out of
Bronco?
the Bronco.
Did you get the
Would
cell
you get
phone out of
cars
the
that have
Bronco?
different initials?
Excuse me, did you get the cell phone out of the Bronco?
I got the stuff that goes with the cell phone out of the Bronco.
And the cell phone?
No.
Just the case?
Yeah, I believe just the case and the stuff.
So
And a jacket.
and the jacket. So
Yeah.
walking back from the Bronco, you then picked up that ball bag?
Picked up two bags.
What bags?
The bag that I put the balls and a windbreaker in, and the white bag that had nothing but balls in it.
So then when you were walking from the Bentley to the front door, you were carrying 3 things then, right? 2
Yes.
bags and the case from the Bronco.
4 things.
And the windbreaker.
Yes.
And then when you got to the front door area, what did you do with these 4 things?
3 of them I sat down right there because
What
I was
3?
the cell phone I put in the bag, my grip, and either laid the jacket there, and the other bag I asked Park to get my golf bag. I think he was in the process of getting my golf bag, which I don't think he knew was a golf bag because he seemed very confused. And Cato was talking about where for the flashlight and juice, you know, show me where. So I kind of stopped what I was doing, and as I was walking back in the house to go show him to go into the cupboard, I dropped the ball bag with all the balls in it right there at the front door. And then I went into the kitchen, and he went into the cupboard.
The ball bag that you dropped near the front door
Yeah.
was the white ball bag that you had
Yes.
accidentally left on the ground outside the Bentley, correct?
Well, I'm sorry, you said,
You want to repeat that question, please?
Question, the ball bag that you dropped near the front door, answer yeah. Question, was the white ball bag, answer yes, question that you had accidentally left outside on the ground by the Bentley, correct?
your characterization of accidentally, yeah. I don't know if it was accidental. It was there. I didn't purposely do it, but
That's
it was
what I
still
meant.
on my property.
You
know.
didn't purposely leave it on the ground.
Yeah, one way or the other. No, it was neither one way or the other. It's my house, you know, so it was there. Yes,
The white bag
the white bag.
with
yes.
the balls in it.
Yes.
How many balls were in it?
Oh, a whole bunch.
Scuffed or new or both?
Just scuffed. Yeah, used balls.
Used balls?
Yes,
Okay. And then you dropped that white bag at the door,
right inside the front door.
inside the front door.
Yes.
And you had put your case and/or cell phone in the grip,
Yes.
left the grip outside still,
Yes.
and then gave this other bag, which had balls and the windbreaker, to Park.
No, I left it there, but I wanted Park to give me my golf bag so that I can put the balls and stuff in my golf bag, but I got distracted because Cato was talking.
So before you
I
went into
believe.
the house to the kitchen, you left that other bluish
Left them right there.
bag right there on the outside or inside?
Excuse me. You're gonna have to wait for him to finish the question. I'm starting to lose you a little bit here.
Okay.
Question, so before you went into the house to the kitchen, you left the other blue,
That blue bag that had the windbreaker and the new balls
Yes,
outside the front door, right?
that's correct.
And just dropped it, just laid it down there, right?
Right with my grip, yeah.
And did you then, before you entered the door, tell Alan Park what to do with that bag?
No, I was asking him, I was in a process of asking him to bring me my golf bag because I wanted to condense, but Cato was talking to me, so I just went in the house with Cato.
And did you ask Park to get the golf bag out of the trunk?
Yeah.
Okay. And did he do so?
He was beginning to do it, but he seemed a little confused because he was reaching, and I had mentioned to him, don't smash my suit. And I don't know, I didn't know him, so he just seemed a little confused. But Cato was talking. This was all happening at once. Cato was talking, so I just went inside with Cato.
And when you went inside to the kitchen to get the drink of water,
Yeah.
did you have any bags with you?
Not in the kitchen, no.
Did you, when you passed the front door and dropped down that white bag, at that point in time you had no further bags in your hand?
That's correct.
And you were carrying nothing, right?
That's correct.
And you went into the kitchen, you got a drink of water, right?
Yes.
And what did you, from the sink or from the refrigerator, where did you get the water?
From the washroom.
In the washroom, is that near the kitchen?
Yes.
And where'd you get the glass?
From the kitchen.
And what did you do with the glass when you finished?
Probably sat it right there,
Where?
either on the counter or in the sink.
Kitchen counter or kitchen sink?
Yes, I believe so.
And you said something about looking in the cupboard for a flashlight?
Cato was looking in the cupboard for a flashlight.
And did you do anything more other than get a drink of water and walk out?
Yeah, I wiped my hand. I saw what I thought was blood on my hand, and I tore a piece of tissue that was right there and wiped my hand. But I was talking to Cato at the same time.
And after he did that, did you then go to the car?
Yes.
And when you went out to the car, you went out the front door now, right?
Actually, I walked to the front door at Cato, and I was about to describe the alarm to him. But we were running late, so I just got in the car and told him I'd call him.
Okay.
And the car we're speaking of is the limo again.
The limo.
Limousine.
The limo.
Yeah.
When you came to the front door with Cato, did you begin explaining to him
Yeah,
about,
I was
excuse
about-
me, did you begin explaining to him about the alarm?
I was talking to him about continuing to look, because I wasn't really, it was the first time I really paid attention to what he was talking about. So I was talking about him to look further for the flashlight, but I was running late, and so I just went and got in the car. Talking to
Oh.
Cato, okay.
When you came out of the house, did Cato come out with you?
Yeah, I think he was coming out the front door or standing in the entry when I got into the limo.
When you came out of the kitchen to go outside,
He was
was
walking
Cato
right
walking with you?
He was walking behind me. Yeah.
Behind you?
Yes.
When you walked out the front of the house,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the front door,
Yeah.
he walked out behind you, right?
Well, he was behind me. I wasn't looking behind me, so he was behind me. Yeah.
Did you then turn to close the door?
I didn't see him turn to close the door. No.
Did you?
No.
Did you close the door?
No.
Did you lock the door?
No.
You left it open?
No, the door will lock if you close it.
You just,
Yeah.
does it close automatically, or do you have to manually pull it closed?
You'd have to, I think, manually pull it closed.
And it locks automatically.
Yeah, should.
And that's what you did, right?
No, I went and got in the car. Cato was behind me, and I thought I told him to look for a flashlight and see what's going on.
Well, when you came out the door, you closed the door and it locked, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then now
No,
you're out.
I didn't close the door.
Well,
Cato was behind me. I'm assuming Cato was going to close the door.
When you got in the car, was the door closed?
I don't recall.
Were there any lights on there?
Yes.
Which lights?
I would assume my coach lights on that were out front, and normally lamps that I normally have on would have been on.
Where are those lamps?
One's in the entry, one's in the kitchen.
Inside, you mean?
Yes.
Do they go on automatically?
Then I don't know. I don't know.
Do you have any timers?
Yes.
Did you have them
Some
activated
parts
that
of the
night?
house. I don't know exactly what parts of the house they were, but some parts of the house they are.
So, were the timers operating in June 12, 1995?
I'm not sure. But I would think so, but I'm not sure.
When they are working, what time do the lights go on?
I don't know.
What time were they set for?
I don't set them. I don't know.
Which lights were set on the timer?
I don't know.
Are the coach lights set on the timer?
No.
Now, when you walked out the front door, did you then go right into the limousine?
Yes.
And did you go into the back seat of the limousine?
Yes.
And was the limousine pointing towards Rockingham?
Well, it was pointing south, yes.
Okay. And so you went in the seat right behind the driver, correct?
Yes.
And that door was already open, waiting for you?
Yes.
And when you got in, did you close the door?
I believe so,
Or
yes.
did Park close the
I
door?
don't recall.
Was Park already in the driver's seat?
I don't recall.
Was the trunk closed?
Yes.
And were the items that were outside put away?
No.
Where were they?
Sitting right there
Sitting right where?
between the benches.
So and you were inside the limo, right?
What are you talking about? When I walked out of the front door,
And you went into the limo.
I grabbed those things and got into the limo.
Oh, what did you grab?
Everything that was sitting between the benches.
And what were those items?
My grip, the other bag, and I believe the windbreaker.
The other bag.
The jacket, yeah.
The other bag being the bag with the windbreaker and the golf balls.
That's correct.
And so Park never put that bag in the trunk?
No.
And you never had him take the golf bag out and put it into the golf bag?
We never got to that, no.
But you had asked him to start to do that, correct?
No, I asked him to get me the golf bag, but Cato was distracting me, and so he never got to get me the golf bag.
When you came back out of the house, did he say, Mr. Simpson, what do you want me to do with this golf bag?
No, he did not.
Did he say anything to you?
No, except he was looking very nervous, and I said, we better get going.
Did you tell did Mr. Kalin pack any bags into the limousine?
I don't know.
Okay. And Mr. Park, you said put in the Louis Vuitton, the suit bag, and
No.
the golf club, right?
I'm not sure.
Did
I'm
you-
not sure.
You don't remember?
No, I don't think I was. I think I dropped them and I went back in the house and I went out. When I went back in the house when I first came down, and secondly came down, they were in the limo.
I'm sorry, secondly came down?
The second time I came down, my golf bag and my suit bag were in the limo already. So they were already put away.
In the Louis Vuitton bag.
No, I came down with the Louis Vuitton bag. And during the process of doing that, I guess they were putting the other bag in away, but I wasn't really paying attention to them. I was, looking for what I was looking for.
Did you tell Mr. Park not to put any particular bag into the trunk?
No,
Or not to put it into the limo?
no,
Did you tell that to Kalin?
no.
At no time did you say to either Mr. Park or Mr. Kalin not to handle a particular bag?
No.
So you had in the back seat with you the windbreaker, the grip, and the other bag.
Yes, I believe so.
Do you have any explanation why the bags that were left outside on the area between the two benches when you went into the kitchen were not put in the limousine?
He's not here to give you explanations. He's here to answer questions, and he doesn't have to give an explanation, and I instruct him not to answer that question.
Do you know why those bags were not put into the car?
No.
Did you tell anybody not to put them in?
No.
Were you surprised when you came back out and saw that they were still there?
No.
Why not?
Because they didn't look like bags. I would think, for me, I know what the bags are, so I'm influenced by it. One is a grip that I had all my personal things in. It was laying there open and I was going in and out of it. And the other was a windbreaker, and I just assumed, I can't make an assumption for them, but it's, when I was looking at it, I pulled my ticket out to make sure my ticket was there. So maybe he just assumed it was my bag. I don't know.
Well, the windbreaker and the grip, but then there was another bag there.
Yeah, but it was a little bag. It wasn't a big bag, and it was put with these two bags. So I don't know. You'd have to ask them. I can't think for them.
We will. Let me have the rest of those exhibits. Okay. Did I already mark 24?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Where's 25 and 26, Eddie? Exhibit 25 is a photograph that shows a bag. Do you see that?
Yes.
Do you recognize that bag?
Yes.
What is it?
It's my suit bag.
Is that the bag that you took to Chicago to carry the suit and the shirt and the tie?
Yes.
And you don't remember if the windbreaker was in it, correct?
Correct.
What color is that bag, Mr. Simpson?
Black.
Did that bag have room to carry any more items in it?
Yes.
By the way, was your Louis Vuitton bag stuffed, or did it have room for additional items?
I could have put more stuff in it, yes.
Okay.
I was going to say, I'm not sure it's a question.
Let me show you the next exhibit, number 26. Contains is a photograph of another bag. Do you see that?
Yes.
Do you recognize that bag?
I believe so.
Okay. What is it?
It's a grip.
Is that the bag?
Sorry, I couldn't get it.
Grip.
Grip.
Black grip bag.
What color is that bag?
It looks to be blue and, you know, sort of leatherish.
Okay. Now, is that the bag that you took into the back seat with you that had the golf balls and the windbreaker?
I believe so.
That's it?
I believe so.
Or is there any uncertainty in your mind?
Well, it wasn't one of my regular bags, so I'm assuming that was the bag.
This was one of your regular travel bags?
Was not.
I'm sorry, I missed your answer. It wasn't one of my regular bags, so I'm assuming that was the bag. Why are you assuming that this is the bag you took with you?
Because it looks like the type of bag that was there, and it was what I saw in the courtroom.
Okay.
Did you see that?
Yeah. And that was the bag that you retrieved initially that evening from the Bentley trunk?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have any other bags with you, other than the ones we have now described?
No.
You're sure of that?
Yes.
In the back of the limo, did you do anything with these two bags, the grip and this Exhibit 26 bag?
No.
Nothing at all?
No.
Did you
Oh,
fiddle,
what I'm sorry. Say that
did you
again.
fiddle around in the bags at all?
Maybe in
Don't know
the-
what fiddle around in the
Yeah.
bags, don't answer that.
Do you know what that means?
It doesn't matter if he knows
Did you
what
look
that
into
means.
the bags?
Yes.
For what purpose?
See what airlines I was going on to tell, make sure the driver know, and just, you know, get my ticket out, tear it out of the thing so I can carry it, close up my bag, put my cell phone in its case, you know, do the whole thing, that kind of stuff.
And you did all that in your black grip bag, right?
Yes.
And did you look into this other bag at all?
No.
And where was it?
Sitting on the floor, sitting in the seat next to me.
What kind of car was it?
Stretch limo.
What color?
I don't know.
What color was the interior?
I don't know.
Was the light on in the back?
I don't think so, but it could have come on.
Make
I
any
really don't
phone
think so.
calls in the limousine?
No.
Did the driver take you directly to the airport?
Yes.
Did you converse with him?
Yes.
What did you converse about?
About being rushed into the airport, about him getting a little lost at one point, about Cato.
What did you tell the driver about getting lost? What was that conversation about?
I told him he was going the wrong way
When did he go the wrong way?
at sunset.
Which way did he go wrong?
When we got to the freeway and he was in the left lane instead of the right lane.
And did he then get on
Yes.
the right lane?
Yes.
So he was in the wrong lane, you moved him over to the right lane so he could get on the freeway?
Yes. He was crossing, you know, he was about to stay in the left lane and the on-ramp is on the right.
The on-ramp's on the right lane on the east side of the freeway, correct? You have to go
Well, it would
past
be
the
the
freeway?
south side.
All right. What side of the freeway is the on-ramp going
It's on the
south?
west. It's on the west and it goes south.
West and it goes south?
Yes.
And he was on the left?
Yeah, he was on the north lane.
So you moved him over to the right?
Yes.
So he didn't get lost, right?
Yeah, okay.
No, in other words, he didn't go the wrong way. He just
Well,
was
I
in the
thought he
wrong
was
lane.
going the wrong way until I corrected him.
Okay, so it turned out he didn't go the wrong way.
Yeah, I corrected him before he went the wrong way.
Okay, and then he got on the freeway going south and you got to the airport.
Yes, yes.
What time did you leave Rockingham?
I don't know. I think it was a little after 11, though.
Before 11:15?
I would think so.
Sometime between 11 and 11:15?
Yes.
Can you pin it down any closer?
No.
Did it have a clock in it in the limo?
I would assume so, but in a stretch limo, you can't see over that thing to the dashboard.
Were you wearing a watch?
I may have been.
What watch were you wearing?
If I was wearing a watch, it would have been a Swiss Army watch, probably this watch.
That watch right there?
This type of watch, yes.
Okay. And when did you put that watch on?
Who knows?
When in the evening of June 12th did you put on your watch?
I don't know if I did, but if I had on a watch, this would have been the watch.
You don't remember if you had a watch when you put it on?
Just answer the question.
No.
Did you, were you looking at the watch while you were in the limousine to see if you were going to be late?
No.
Were you looking at the watch before the limousine?
Well, you have now elevated, I may have had a watch, and I don't recall if I did, to he had a watch on, and was he looking at it?
No,
And
but-
I'm going to object and instruct him not to answer that
By
question.
asking the questions, it may jog his memory that he had such a watch, he was wearing it and was indeed looking at it.
Then
That's the
frame it.
purpose of the question, Mr.
Then
Baker.
frame it correctly. Don't frame it as a fait accompli, because it is not.
You don't remember, do you?
No.
You don't remember looking at a watch to see if you were running late at all, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Were you looking at clocks in the house to see if you were running late?
I looked at a clock
And which clock?
in my kitchen.
How many times did you look at that kitchen clock?
In what period of time?
The evening of June 12th.
I have no idea.
When you did look at it, what time did it say?
It was after 11.
When you went in to get the drink of water?
Yes.
And did you look at it any time before that point in time to see if you were running late or for any other reason?
I'm sure if I was in the kitchen earlier that day or that afternoon, there's a chance I might have looked at the watch. The clock.
I mean, any time in the evening of the...
If I was in the kitchen, I may have looked at the clock.
Did you look at any other clocks in your house evening of June 12th?
Yes.
Where were those clocks?
One was by my bed
And what other clocks did you look at?
that I'm conscious of. I can't recall.
And do you remember specifically looking at the bed clock?
Yes.
What times?
It registered about 10:40, 10:35 to 10:40.
And what was your purpose in looking at the clock at 10:35?
That's when I became aware that the limo driver was, to me, late, and I had to get moving.
The limo driver had not yet arrived.
Yes.
And do you recall looking at the clock any other time?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a break.
No, I'm fine.
You're fine.
Yeah.
When you were in the bedroom around 10:35 or so, and you looked at the clock, what were you doing in the bedroom?
Sitting on my bed, kind of sitting, half laying, sitting on my pillows on my bed.
And how long had you been doing that?
10, 15 minutes.
So you were lying on the bed for about 15 minutes, you were sitting or lying
No.
on the bed.
Yes.
And then you saw the clock at 10:35 or so.
10:35 or 40. It's right in that area.
Can somebody pick that up,
This
please?
is what it registered.
And then you, when you saw the time, you got up.
Yes.
What did you do at that point?
And went and took a dump.
How long did that take?
I don't recall.
And then what did you do?
Jumped in the shower.
How long did that take?
I don't recall.
Then what'd you do?
Got out of the shower.
Then what'd you do?
Dried off.
Then what?
Started to get dressed.
Then what?
Started finishing packing my suitcase.
Or when you got out of the shower and got dressed, what time was it when you finished dressing?
I don't know.
Was the limo driver there
Yes.
when you finished dressing?
Yes.
Was he there when you got out of the shower?
Yes.
How do you know?
Because I heard my phone continuing to ring.
And you didn't answer it?
No.
When is the first time you heard it ring?
I don't know.
When's the first time you remember hearing it ring?
At some point in time when I was in the shower.
You heard the phone in the shower?
Yes. You don't hear it clearly. At some point I thought I heard the phone ring, and I opened the door of the shower and I looked at it and the phone was ringing.
When you talk about the phone ringing, are you talking about the telephone ringing?
Yes.
Is that what rings when the limo buzzes outside the Ashford gate?
Correct.
Is it a ring different from a normal telephone call?
What do you mean, the sound?
Yeah.
No.
Can you tell if it's a person out at the gate or versus a phone call?
I can, yes.
How?
Because it keeps ringing and the line that lights up when it's ringing.
What lights up?
I'm sorry.
The line that lights up when it's ringing, and it keeps ringing.
But if you're in the shower, you can't see the line, correct?
When I open the door to the shower, I can.
Did you do that?
Yes.
So you heard the phone ringing, you opened the door to the shower, then you looked at a phone instrument, you saw a light on, and that told you it was the limo driver.
No. At first, I knew it was a limo driver because once I heard it ringing, at one point when I was aware it was ringing, I hit the door, and it continued to ring, so I knew it had to be the gate. And at some point, as I'm coming out, I looked, and it was the gate, but it had stopped ringing. It was stopped ringing at that point.
When you say you hit the door, what do you mean by that?
The shower door,
What, I mean, you hit it for what reason?
to open it.
To open it to see the phone?
Well, actually, I was getting out, but I tend to open the shower door, grab my towel, and because my shower is sort of a steam shower, dry off in the shower.
Yeah, and in any event, you, by looking at the instrument and hearing the constant ringing, you knew it wasn't a phone call but the limo driver, right?
That's correct.
Now, did you hear it while you were in the shower then?
At some point, yes.
And when you got out of the shower and were drying off,
Yes.
did you still continue to hear it?
No.
Okay, so when you got out, before you dried off, did you go to the phone to call the limo driver?
No.
Can you call from your phone?
I think so. I think you can hit the gate, and the gate will open. I don't know if it'll ring out there. The gate will open out there.
When you hear, when you heard withdrawn, what do you have to do to let the limo driver in from upstairs in your bedroom?
Pick up the phone and push a number that's on my phone.
What number is that?
I don't recall right now.
Can you talk to the limo driver by picking up the phone and dialing some number?
No, just by picking up the phone. If it's on that line, you can't talk to the limo driver.
Okay, and if he's not on the line, you can't talk to him, obviously, right?
Yes.
Will his phone ring on the other line?
I don't know.
If you wanted to talk to him, but he's not on the line, will it ring so that he'll pick it up and you can and he can talk to you?
Do you understand that question?
I think I understand what he's saying. Yes.
Yes.
I don't know.
Okay, but
I've never done
in
that.
any event, when you got out of the shower, you dried off before pressing that button to open the door.
No.
Open
No.
the door?
Open the gate.
No.
When you got out of the shower, you dried off before doing anything?
Yes.
When did you go and press the button on your phone that would activate the gate and let the driver in?
I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
Okay. And after you, but you knew he was out there, right?
Yes.
Okay. And after you dried off, you dressed, right?
Yes, started to get dressed and started to pack, finish packing.
Now, while you were dressing, withdrawn, while you were drying, did the phone ring again?
No.
While you were dressing, did the phone ring again?
Yeah, eventually, yes.
And did you then, while you were dressing and heard the phone ring, press the button to let the gate open?
No.
Okay. And then you finished dressing, and
Yeah.
then did what?
Went outside.
Did you pack first after you finished dressing?
I don't understand what you're saying.
When you finished dressing,
Yes.
did you resume packing?
No.
You were already packed?
Yes.
Completely packed? right?
Completely packed.
And where was the Louis Vuitton bag?
On my bed.
Closed and packed, right?
Yes.
And that occurred, it was closed and packed before you went into the shower, right?
No.
When did you close and pack it?
As I told
Pack
you
and
before.
close it, I should
As
say.
I told you before, when I came up, I closed it up, I folded it up, put on my shirt, put on my jean top, and carried it downstairs.
What I'm trying to understand, Mr. Simpson, is did you complete the packing of the Louis Vuitton bag and closing it up
Yes.
after or before you took your shower?
After I took my shower.
Okay. But right after you took your shower, you dried, right?
Yes.
And then you dressed, right?
Halfway, yeah. And eventually, yes. So, yes.
When you were packing your Vuitton bag to finish off the packing, were you already fully dressed?
No.
Okay, so you were partly dressed.
Yes.
You had pants on,
Yes.
loafers,
Yes.
no shirt.
Yes.
And then you resumed packing,
Yes.
finished packing,
When I finished packing, yes.
put your shirt on,
Yes.
then put that other shirt over it, right?
Yes.
Then went downstairs.
For the second time, yes.
Now, in From the moment you got out of the shower to the moment you went downstairs, at any time during that interval, did you press the button to let the limo driver in?
No.
And how many times did the phone ring from the moment you got out of the shower until you went downstairs?
Once.
And how many times did it ring that occasion?
Once.
When I said, how many rings?
Once.
And you could tell from the line that it was the limo driver, right?
That and the fact that I picked it up.
You picked it up and you talked to him?
Yes.
And what did you then say?
So I'm coming right down. I'm running late. I know I'm coming right down.
Then you hung up.
Believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
Did you press the button at that point to let the gate open?
No.
Okay. And what did he say to you? Anything?
I think he dialed me right back to say that he had been there. And I'm not sure if it was all a part of the same conversation or the phone rang immediately right after I said, yeah, I'm running late.
Yeah.
And then I told him, he said something about he had been waiting. And I said, yeah, I know, I was in the shower.
Okay, so you hung up the phone and then he called right back?
Yeah, I believe so.
And you
I
picked
believe
up
so.
again?
Yeah. It could have been one conversation, I'm not sure, but I seem to recall it because I know I was irritated when I had to continue this conversation with him.
Irritated about
Because I was
what?
running late, and it was like, you know, this guy is telling me he's been here. So terrific, you've been here. And it wasn't Dale, so it's, you know.
It wasn't?
Dale.
Dale?
Dale,
St. John?
yes,
Your regular driver
yes,
for many years?
yes.
I don't know if anybody else, I gotta hit the head on if we can, just get time for a break or.
Okay.
We are going off the record now, and it's on the page 417.
Just let my door keep me.
We are back on the record now, and the time is approximately 4:42.
What did you say, Mike? I didn't hear you.
Brewer can have custody for the night, tape.
What did you say?
He can have custody for the night. I'll put in my golf bag.
Okay, here we go.
Give him to Geraldo.
Okay. Run. Okay. Mr. Simpson, when is it clear in your mind that the first time you heard the buzzer from the limo driver was when you were in the shower?
Yes.
Well, a phone.
The phone,
The phone rings,
yes,
and you were in the shower.
that's correct.
Okay. The second, and you didn't respond at that time.
Correct.
And the second
I
time.
didn't respond by answering it.
Correct.
Yes.
You didn't respond at all.
Yes,
The second time you heard it is when you were getting dressed, correct?
yes,
And you didn't respond then either.
that's incorrect.
When you were dressing and you heard the phone ring,
Yes,
did you pick it up?
yes,
And you had a little discussion, which you've already testified to, right?
that's correct.
But you did not let him in then, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then you finished dressing, packing, going downstairs, and you didn't hear the phone ring again during that time, correct?
Correct.
And then you went downstairs and out the door, correct?
Correct.
And did you let him in then?
He was in then, but yeah, he was in then.
Did you let him in?
No,
Okay. How did he get in?
I assume Cato let him in.
You don't know?
That's the only assumption I make.
You didn't buzz him in, correct?
That's correct.
You never went to your phone instrument, pressed that button, and let the gate open, correct?
That's correct.
And you didn't do anything else to cause the gate to open, right?
That's correct.
And when you came downstairs to go out to the Bronco to get what you said was the windbreaker and the case for the phone, he was already there, correct?
I didn't come downstairs to do that, no.
When you came downstairs, though, you did that,
I ended up doing that, yes.
right? Came downstairs, looked in your grip bag,
Yes.
then went out to the car,
Yes.
the Bronco.
Yes.
But at that point in time, Mr. Park was already in, and you
Correct.
don't know how he got there, correct?
Correct.
Did you ask Cato?
No.
How would Cato have let him in?
Since he was out front, I'm assuming he pushed the button.
To the left of the gate.
Yes.
Would there have been any other way that Cato could have opened that gate on Rockford?
I believe so, yes.
On Rockford?
Excuse me, on
Ashford.
Ashford.
Yes.
What are the other options that Cato had to do that?
You could have picked up the phone and pushed whatever number to let him in.
Any telephone in the house?
Yes,
He had access to the phones in the house?
in his room.
Even in his room, he could operate the gate?
You know, once he got in that room, I never went in that room to see what his phone setup was, but before he got in that room, I know you could have, yes.
You don't recall if you changed it or not?
I didn't do anything.
Okay. And in Arnell's room, she also lived there, right?
Yes,
On June 12th, correct?
yes,
And she had the same ability on her telephone to press the button and have the gate open, right?
yes,
Is there another button to press to have the Rockingham gate open?
no,
Is that opened by the phones?
no,
Can you talk to that gate?
no.
When you got off the bed, strike that. Earlier you testified that you went upstairs about 10:20 p.m. and shut off the lights. And when you went upstairs, then where did you go?
10:15, 10:20,
Where did you
Yes.
go?
to my bedroom.
And what did you do when you got to the bedroom at that time?
Sat on my bed and kind of laid back on my bed.
And then you noticed the clock around 10:35 or 10:40, and then you got up and you went to the bathroom, right?
Yes,
Now, at that time, you knew that you had to hustle to get out of there, right?
yes.
How long were you in the bathroom?
I don't know.
Less than 5 minutes?
I don't know.
More than 5 minutes?
I don't know.
What's your best estimate?
I don't have one.
How long were you in the shower?
I don't know.
When you were on the bed, you were dressed, right?
Yes.
What were you wearing?
Probably some pants and a shirt.
And what was the color of the pants you were wearing?
Probably a royal bluish pants.
What was the color of the shirt?
Believe white.
Did you have socks on?
I believe so, yes.
What kind of socks did you have on?
White socks.
And did you have shoes on?
No.
What happened were you wearing shoes when you were outside chipping the golf balls and leaving the Bentley and going upstairs?
Yes.
What shoes were those?
Tennis shoes.
White?
Yes.
Reebok?
I believe so.
When did you take those shoes off?
When I got upstairs.
And where did you put them?
I think I probably just kicked them off my feet when I laid on the bed.
Okay. Now, the pants and shirt that you were wearing, is that what you were wearing to the... You said that the pants were a royal blue?
Yes, I believe bluish blue.
Dark blue?
Could have been dark blue, yes.
You're sure of that color?
Yes, I'm pretty sure of that color.
Were they... and the shirt was a white shirt?
I believe so, yes.
Open collar shirt, polo shirt? What kind of shirt?
Golf shirt.
Golf shirt. Were those the same clothing you had worn to the recital?
No.
And when you came back from the recital, you changed?
Yes.
And you changed into these royal blue pants and this golf shirt?
Yes.
You're not sure that it was a white shirt, correct?
At this recollection, right now, no.
It could have been a dark shirt, correct?
Could have been darker, yes.
Now, when did you put these clothes
Put these clothes.
on?
When I, between 7:30 or so and 9 o'clock.
What did you wear to the recital?
Black pants, I believe a white shirt, black sweater jacket.
Black pants, white shirt, and what?
I believe a black sweater jacket.
Socks
I'm not sure.
and shoes.
Yes, black shoes.
What kind of shoes?
Dress shoes.
Loafers?
Yes.
Made by whom?
I don't know.
You don't remember?
I don't think I ever knew.
Did you buy them?
Yes.
Where'd you buy them?
I don't remember.
And can Do those lights project light outside of the home onto the property?
It depends.
Depends on what?
If you're sitting in front of the front door, if you're sitting in front of the kitchen.
If you're sitting in front of the front door, can you see any lights on?
Yes.
If you're sitting in front of the kitchen, can you see any lights on?
Yes.
If you're sitting out at the Ashford gate, can you see any lights on?
No,
How do you know that?
because I've done it
When did you do it?
numerous times.
Did you do it in the last month?
Yes.
For what reason?
To prove it to some people.
To whom did you prove it?
To my lawyers,
Which lawyers?
my current lawyers.
The lawyer sitting here to your right?
Yes.
And what did you attempt to prove?
Just showing them that you can't tell what lights are on in my house from the gates.
So did you do it at night?
Yes.
At 10, what time was it?
Late at night, I don't know exactly what time.
After 10 o'clock p.m.?
Possibly.
And what lights did you turn on downstairs?
Virtually all of them.
Every single light downstairs?
I'd say virtually, not all. I would say 90% of the lights.
Did you turn on the lamp in the kitchen?
Yes.
The lamp in the entryway?
Yes.
The big light in the kitchen?
No.
Did you turn on the coach lights outside?
I think at one point they were, yes.
But at one point they were not turned on?
Yes.
Correct?
Correct.
And did you turn on the light in the TV room?
All of them.
All of them.
Yes.
And did you then turn on any other lights?
Yes.
Which ones?
All the lights in my dining room, all the lights in my living room, all the lights in my tennis room, all the lights in my bedroom, all the lights in my bathroom. Yes.
What lights downstairs did you leave off?
Downstairs, the overhead lights in my kitchen and in my office,
Why did you leave those lights off?
because those are lights I don't believe was on the night of the 12th.
Okay. And then you went and positioned yourself on the other side of the gate at Ashford?
Inside and outside of the gate, on both gates.
And what did you see?
A house that looked like no lights were on.
Why did it look like no lights were on?
You'd have to ask God that,
Why?
because
He's a physicist.
he's a physicist and I'm not.
You could not see any lights?
Nobody with me could see any lights,
How do you know that?
because they said it.
Who said it?
Whoever I was with.
And who were you with?
Depends what time I was with them.
I'm sorry?
I've done this, I can't recall who, I've done this with virtually everyone who's come into my house
Okay.
at night.
You've done it with Bob Baker and Dan Leonard and Bob Blasier, right?
Yes.
Who else have you done it with?
A film crew,
That made your video?
that's correct.
Anyone else?
Just about everybody who's come to my house who I can't recall who.
You make a point of doing that when they come to your house?
Yes.
What else do you make a point of doing?
If
Treating them
anything.
very nice.
Do you make a point of proving anything else to these people?
Yes.
What else?
That my housekeeper can cook, and that my mom's a great cook, and that I'm a good host.
Do you make a point of proving anything else that you were innocent of these charges?
That's
Besides,
argumentative, and don't
No,
answer.
you said you were trying to prove to these people that nobody could see the lights, and that's for the purpose of proving some fact that you think is important to your case,
Well,
correct?
he didn't
don't
say
think I
that.
said
Wait,
that at all.
Don't.
Why do you prove this fact to so many people who come to your house? What's your purpose in doing that?
that's a question that's asked,
It's always volunteered by the other person?
except with the film company, yes.
Okay. And what do they ask you, these people?
Why no lights were on in my house that night?
And what do you say?
I said that was incorrect.
What was incorrect?
That assumption that there were no lights on in my house.
You know for a fact that all these lights that you just described were on?
When?
You've already, I want to be clear about this. When you went upstairs at 10:15, 10:20, the only lights that you said were on, or that were on, I should say, were the lamp in the kitchen and the lamp in an entryway, correct?
No, that's not correct.
What else was on?
My bedroom lights.
The only lights downstairs were the lamp in the kitchen and the lamp in the entry, correct?
Yes, I believe so, yes.
When you came downstairs the first time after showering and going to the bathroom and all that, you came downstairs with a Louis Vuitton bag. Did you turn on any lights?
I don't think that's correct.
What's not correct?
That I came down the first time with the Louis Vuitton bag.
After you were dressed.
Yes,
Came down with what bag?
Louis Vuitton, after I was dressed, completely dressed.
And had you turned on any lights by then?
I don't know. I don't really know.
What's your best?
I may have turned on then, I may have turned on the coach lights.
When you came down with the Louis Vuitton bag?
No, I may have turned them on earlier,
What time?
when I came down with my suit bag to look for my shoes and my golf bag,
Before or after you dressed?
before I got completely dressed.
Half dressed?
Yes,
No shirt on?
no shirt on.
You walked downstairs with the suit bag and laid it outside where the golf bag is, right?
Yeah.
And at that time,
essentially.
you turned on the light?
I may have, when I went back in, turned on the coach lights.
Okay. And the coach lights, but not the entryway light, correct?
Yes, I believe so.
And Park was already there at that time, right?
He was at the gate,
Not in.
not in.
Cato hadn't let him in yet.
As far as I know, no.
And you went upstairs, finished dressing, and came back down with the Louis Vuitton bag, right?
Yes.
Did you turn any lights on at that point?
I don't think so.
And by this point, Park was there, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you were half dressed and the phone rang and it was Park, why didn't you let him in then?
Because I didn't want to open my gate.
Why not?
Didn't want my dog to go out
Where was your dog?
in the front yard.
As it turned out, your gate was opened without your knowledge anyway, right?
Yes.
Did your dog run out?
No.
How do you know?
Well, I really don't know. Maybe it did, but Cato was there at that point in time, so I may have mentioned to Cato. I may not have, but I normally do. I wouldn't have worried about it because somebody would have been there to get her back in.
Is Chachi?
Chachi.
And when you, was Chachi outside?
Chachi lives outside,
Okay,
yes.
she never goes in your house?
I mean, she's been in my house once or twice, but
Was she outside on the evening of June 12 when you were doing the golf balls?
yes.
And when you went back down to go to the Bronco to get the cell phone and or the cell phone case, was she outside?
Outside of the house, yes.
Yeah, and when you opened that gate to go out to the Bronco, did she go out the gate?
At that time, no.
Did you look for her to restrain her before you went out?
I always do, yeah. I look to see where she is.
Did you see her?
I didn't see her, so I knew she wasn't where she can go out.
But when you were at the Bronco, she could have gotten out, correct?
Which time at the Bronco?
When you went out that time to get the phone.
The last time. Yes,
Correct,
but
the last time that you mentioned to us.
yes, but I wasn't concerned because Cato was there then.
When you went to get the phone, or the phone case and the,
Yeah.
and the windbreaker, Cato was...
Was there, so he could have gotten her in while I was gone.
Did you tell Cato, hold on to the dog or watch the dog?
No, I didn't need to do that, no.
Why not?
Because I didn't see the dog going out, but if I would have seen the dog go out and didn't see it that she was in,
Sorry, I didn't see the
Okay.
dog go out.
because it's understood at my house, there's a rule at my house, because the SPCA has given us numerous warnings. There's a rule at my house with housekeepers and Cato and everyone there, don't let the dog out. So everybody's sort of aware that you don't let the dog out.
And you were aware of that when you went to the Bronco?
I'm aware of that even every morning when I leave to go play golf.
So you didn't want to let the limo driver in because the dog might get out? Is that
Yeah,
what you're
and I didn't know if Cato was around or not, so I wouldn't have had time to look for her.
saying? Okay. When you came downstairs and saw the last time and saw the limo driver there, were you concerned that your dog might have gotten out inadvertently?
Not so much, no.
Did you ask Cato, did the dog get out?
No,
Did you ask the driver?
no.
Did you ask Cato or the driver anything about the dog?
I don't think so.
Okay. Now you just said that you When I asked you a question about going to the Bronco, you said the second time. Did you go to the Bronco another time?
Yes,
An earlier time?
yes.
When did you go to the Bronco on the evening of June 12th? An earlier time?
When I was chipping balls and looking for my sand wedge.
Well, you described what you did at the Bentley truck already.
At the Bentley car, yes.
The Bentley car, excuse me.
Yes.
And when did you go to the Bronco in reference to what you did at the Bentley?
After I put my pitching wedge back in the trunk of the Bentley, I walked and looked into the back window of the Bronco to see if there were any clubs back there.
After you got the pitching wedge out of the Bentley, hit those golf balls wherever you hit them.
Yes.
You put the pitching wedge back,
Yes.
took out the bag
Yeah.
with the balls
But I
and
had
the
done all that
windbreaker
before I
in
hit
it.
it.
Sorry.
Excuse me, let me finish. You took out the bag with the balls and the windbreaker, you put it on the ground, then you went to the Bronco?
No,
No, that's
compound
not
question
correct.
and the sequence is wrong.
Yeah, the sequence is wrong.
Okay, let's get it right then, okay?
You did get it right.
Well, I'm kind of slow. let me see if I can sort it out. Okay. You got the,
This is the third time we're going over this, and I'm not going to let him go over it again. I
he
mean,
has not discussed going to the Bronco before
Well,
at all.
discuss going to the Bronco then, but you keep going back, and I think it's untoward to have him go over and over and over the same thing, and you've done it 15 times today, and you can talk all you want about him going to the Bronco the first
Okay,
time.
let's
but
talk
we're
about
not going
that.
to sequence, we're not going to re-sequence the events that we've already
Let's-
sequenced.
Let's try to move on. It's getting late, okay? Did you go to the Bronco after you completed all of the activities that you previously described at the Bentley?
Yes, sir.
You had finished hitting all your golf balls, right?
Yes, sir.
And you had closed the trunk of the Bentley, right?
Yes.
So on the ground was the bag with the windbreaker.
Yes, I believe so. Yes.
Okay. Before you went inside, you then went to the Bronco?
Yes.
Okay. You pressed the button,
Yes.
Rockingham gate opened up,
Yes.
you went out and you went to the Bronco. What did you then do at the Bronco?
I looked into the back of the Bronco
For what reason
to see if I had any clubs there.
did you?
No.
You could see.
Yes.
Then what did you do?
I waited for my dog, and we walked around and came in the Ashford gate.
You waited for your dog to do what?
I guess she took a dump.
Oh, the dog had come out the property
Yes.
on the Rockingham side,
Yes.
and you waited until the dog finished its business.
Yeah, I went over across the street and up a little bit into Ivy and various things and took a dump.
The dog did.
Yes.
While you were standing at the Bronco?
Yes. Yes.
Doing what? Just watching?
Yeah, just, I had a what they call a 3-wood in my hand. I was swinging a 3-wood
Where did you get the 3-wood?
out of my garage.
And then that was after you did the chipping of the golf balls
That
with
was
the
before.
pitching wedge.
That was before.
You had gotten the 3-wood out, right?
Yes.
And you had laid it next to you while you were hitting the other club?
I don't think next to me. I may have laid it up against the trunk, the open trunk of the, possibly laid it there, I guess.
Of the Bentley.
Yes.
And after you closed the Bentley, you then took the 3-wood?
Yeah, the 3-wood I had, and I was just swinging it.
When
Walking.
you went to the Bronco, you took it with you?
Yes.
Did you take anything else with you?
Other than what I had on me.
Yeah, and carrying anything else?
In my pocket, yes.
What?
I had a cell phone.
In your pocket?
Yes.
How long had the cell phone been in your pocket?
Since I had gone into the garage. Actually, maybe not. Maybe I went and grabbed it after I was in the garage.
Grabbed it from where?
The kitchen.
When you went outside to go hit golf balls?
Yes.
You went into the kitchen, grabbed your cell phone?
Yes.
And put it in your pocket?
No, I made a phone call.
On the cell phone?
Yes.
Who did you call?
Paula Barbieri.
What time was that?
I don't know. I didn't know at the time. I know now.
Now, when you called Paula Barbieri from your cell phone, where were you literally standing?
In front of my house, right behind my Bronco. At least by the time it was ringing, I was standing behind my Bronco.
Had you already hit the golf balls?
No, I hadn't even gotten them yet.
And you hadn't swung the wood either?
No, I
Three
was
wood?
swinging the wood.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You got the phone from the kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
and you went outside the front door?
No,
Where'd you go?
outside the garage door.
You went into your garage from the inside of your
Yeah,
house?
it's right at my kitchen, yes.
Opened up the light,
The light was already on.
the back light. Was the door open already?
Backlight.
You said there was 2 lights in the garage.
Yeah, it was already on.
Was the door already opened,
Yes,
the garage door?
I believe so,
Okay.
yes. I'm not sure of that, but I think so. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure of that.
When had you opened the garage door?
When I came out to look at my Bentley.
So, when you went to get the cell phone in the kitchen, this was before you had gone to the Bentley to open up the trunk and look for the clubs,
Yeah, as
correct?
I said a few minutes ago, that's correct.
So you went into the garage from the kitchen, and you opened the light into the garage, right?
Yes,
Went out the garage door, right?
no, I looked for my sand wedge, and I was also looking for a 3-wood.
Did you find a sand wedge?
No,
Found the 3-wood?
yes.
Then what'd you do with the 3-wood when you came out of the garage?
I walked back to the door to the kitchen to push the button, open the garage door, and open the door to the kitchen, walked in, grabbed my cell phone, and walked back out the garage.
Okay. So now you come back out the garage with the 3-wood and the cell phone.
Correct.
Then what do?
I put a call in to Paula and opened the trunk of my Bentley.
So you were standing near the Bentley when you called Paul, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And the clothing you were wearing,
Was whatever I had on from...
dark blue pants and
Yeah.
a shirt, the color of which you can't remember.
Yes.
Did you talk to Paula?
No.
Did you reach an answering machine?
Yes.
Did you leave a message?
Yes.
What was your message?
I don't recall.
Recall anything? Is that what you said?
Well, yeah, I said I was wondering what was happening because she hadn't called me. So what was going on?
And
I thought it was her last chance of taking me to the airport. If I'd have got her, we had enough time for her to take me to the airport if she was in town.
okay. If she was in town, you were figuring that she'd come home and pick you up?
Yeah.
You had already ordered the limo, right?
Yes.
So then you went, after you made your phone call, what'd you do with the cell phone?
And put it in my pocket. I may have just set it there, but because I hit a few balls and then grabbed it, put it in my pocket, and swung the 3-wood.
Because after you made the call, then you went to the Bentley, opened up the trunk, and did what you described.
You have to do that.
After you made the phone call, you either put the phone down or in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
If you put it down, where did you put it?
Right there at the trunk of the Bentley.
And you opened up the trunk, and you described what you did at that point.
Yeah.
Closed the trunk,
Yes.
took your 3-wood, went out to the Bronco.
Yes.
Dog went out.
Yes.
And you looked into the Bronco,
Yes.
and you were looking for your sand wedge.
Yes.
You didn't find it, right?
Correct.
Waited for the dog to finish and then walked.
Yeah, well, we walked up the street. She went across and up a way. First, she went to Stanley Scheinbaum's stuff. Then
Yeah.
she walked up, started going up the grass to the other, and I was just on the grass walking, swinging, and then finally, come on, Chachi, and we went into the Ashford Gate.
The Rockingham gate closed behind you,
Yes.
and then you entered in the Ashford gate.
Yes.
And how did you get into the Ashford gate?
Pushed it.
From the outside of the gate?
Mhm.
You need a key?
No, I tell you, I keep one gate on a hinge, and only we know this. But normally, I would keep one gate off hinge, so it works if you push the button, or if you're walking the dog and you come home and you want to get on the property and you don't have a key, you push the gate.
You just push the gate.
Yeah, you
Manually.
gotta kind of know how to do it. It's not, you can't just walk and push it. There's a little trick to it that I'm not going to tell America.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so does the trick still work?
Well, now I got security and we keep everything locked all the time.
You pushed the gate, you went in with the dog
Yes.
on Rockford and closed the gate behind you,
Yes.
and then you went inside,
Yes.
closed the lights, and went upstairs.
Yeah, I went in.
Rockford is.
I'm sorry, Ashford.
Yeah, I went in, closed the garage door, turned off the lights. Yeah.
And that's about
what I've
10:15 or 10:20, correct?
I would, yes.
And what did you do with the 3-wood?
Laid it back in the garage. When I went in the garage, just put it back in the garage.
Through the inside of the house?
What do you mean?
You went inside the front door,
No, I didn't.
you went into the garage.
Yes.
You laid the 3-wood down,
Yeah, put it where it belongs.
then came out of the garage?
No.
And what'd you do?
Walk back into the house.
And closed the garage door?
Yes.
And then entered in the house that way?
Yes.
And went through the kitchen and upstairs?
Yes.
Okay. Does your garage door make does it make a sound when it goes up and down?
If you're standing there, I guess you can hear it, yes.
The dog stayed outside on the property?
Yes.
Now, when was the first time that you encountered Cato Kalin when you were getting ready to leave for the airport?
I don't know what you mean by when you're getting ready to leave the airport. I mean,
Do you know what I mean?
Well,
He said that he ran into Cato sometime when he came downstairs to go to the airport.
okay, you mean when the limo? That's not getting ready to go, in my view, but that's okay.
When the
As long as
limo's
we're-
there.
As long as we're on the same wavelength, that's fine.
Yes, we're on the same wavelength. You understand what I'm saying?
No.
Okay.
Now, this is to the best of my recollection. This is, I came out, dropped the 2 bags. I didn't see Cato. The limo driver was standing there. I think I heard Cato because he wasn't standing in front of the house. I looked in my bag and I went back into the house and into the kitchen. Came back out and then I saw Cato over by the garage and he was talking to me from over there.
Garage door was closed, right?
Yeah.
He was in front of the garage, right?
Yeah, he was in that area between the house, the garage. He was talking to me in front of the limo, just in that area.
Now, what was he saying to you?
He was talking about something about earthquakes.
He said he felt an earthquake?
Yeah, I wasn't really paying any much attention to him. I was trying to get myself together, and he was talking. And I don't think I really focused on what he was talking about until I came back from the Bronco. And then I, for the first time, really focused on what he was talking about.
The first time, before you went to the Bronco, what's your best recollection of what he said to you? Across from this garage area where he was standing.
He was moving, and he was just talking about an earthquake.
You used the word earthquake?
Yeah. He did ask me if I overslept. That was one of the first things he said to me. Did you oversleep? And then he was talking about noise and earthquake.
When he asked you, did you oversleep, what did you say?
I don't even think I responded to it. I don't recall really responding. I said, I'm just running late or something, but I didn't have any really specific response to it, I don't think.
What was he wearing?
I don't know.
Did he have shoes on?
I would assume so.
You don't remember?
And then I remember I didn't pay any attention. I don't know if you got on shoes. I haven't paid any attention.
Did you see that he had shoes on?
No, I didn't see one way or the other.
Can you identify what he was wearing?
Not at all. Or Allen Park, for that matter.
Was he holding anything?
Not that I recall.
Okay. Now, he said something to you about noises.
He was talking about an earthquake, is what he was talking about.
You mentioned before that he said something about noises. What did he say about noises?
He heard something, or did you feel an earthquake?
Are we talking about a different time
No.
now? We're not talking about
We're
him
still
moving?
on the same time.
Okay,
I know,
we
no,
were talking, wait a minute. We're talking about him moving out by the garage area and the earthquake, and then you said, your question goes to the noises, and I just want to make sure we're at the same time frame.
Yeah, Yeah, he, in one of his prior answers about this exact event, he said Cato was talking about earthquake noises, earthquake.
Well, that's not the exact event. I want the question read back, please.
Which,
Well,
depending I'm not, well, let me just.
Let me ask
He
you,
just represented that a certain answer would be.
yeah,
Okay.
let me go back on the record. Okay? I'll just ask
My
another,
request first.
Question, you mentioned before that he said something about noises. What did he say about noises? Answer, he heard something. Did you feel an earthquake? Dash, Mr. Baker.
Okay.
That's the record.
what,
Okay.
we're back on now?
Yes.
When he said something to you about noises, you're saying he said, did you hear something?
I don't think so. I think he asked me, did I feel an earthquake?
Did he?
And then as a, you know, as I said, I was going in and out to my Bronco back, and he was talking about noises and hearing something, earthquakes. I mean, I really didn't pay any much attention to what he was talking about.
Had you
Most
felt?
people don't.
Yeah. Well, off of your lawyer's comment, was Mr. Kalin, to your knowledge, typically incoherent in your dealings with him?
I mean, you guys seen Cato. Cato's Cato.
Did you find him to be incoherent by and large in your dealings with him?
No, I found him to be Cato. Cato was very unique. I found him to be a very nice guy who is a little goofy, but I like him.
You didn't believe at that time, June 12, 1994, that he was incoherent.
I wasn't paying it. Cato was, for what I was doing at the time, he was totally, it was totally insignificant, whatever he was talking about to me at that moment.
Prior to that moment, though, my question to you is, in your relationship with him, you didn't find him to be somewhat incoherent.
I found him to be Cato, and he's just not your everyday guy. He's Cato. He's Cato. I mean, you've seen him.
In your conversations with Cato before that moment, were you able to communicate with him?
I've always been able to communicate with him.
Now, when he mentioned this thing about noises and/or earthquake, had you felt an earthquake?
No.
Okay. And had you heard any noises?
I don't believe so, no.
And at that point, then, you went out to the Bronco, as you testified, right?
I don't think that's not necessarily what I testified. I say, as I was doing all of this stuff, Cato was talking, and I can't say exactly. I know when he first saw me, almost the first thing he asked me was, did you oversleep, and did you feel an earthquake? Then I was busy doing what I was doing. He and Park was talking. He was saying things, and I can't tell you exactly what he said between then and when I went out and when I came in. It was just talk about noises or hearing. I wasn't paying attention to him. I was just not paying attention to him or Park. When I came, I do recall asking him, well, doesn't he have a flashlight? And saying there should be one in the kitchen in the cupboard. Other than that, whatever he was talking about at the time was insignificant to me. It really, I was trying to get a flight to Chicago, a flight I didn't want to take.
Why did Mr. Kalin tell you why he wanted a flashlight?
To look, I guess to look around the side of the house. I may have said to him, get a flashlight and look back there. I may have said that to him.
What did Mr. Kalin tell you about wanting to go and look back with a flashlight?
I don't know if he said anything about one. I may have suggested it.
Did he tell you that he thought there were prowlers back there?
No.
Did he say anything about that?
No, he just said he heard a noise.
And he wanted to investigate the noise?
Pardon me?
He said he wanted to investigate the noise?
No, he said he heard a noise. And I said, well, why don't you get a flashlight and look? And I made a suggestion, let's grab a flashlight, I'll go one way, you go the other way, and we'll see.
Did he tell you what the noise was that he heard?
No.
Did he describe the noise to you?
No.
Did you, in fact, go one way and he went the other way?
I think we were about to, and it was very dark. And that's when I may have said, well, we better get a flashlight, and he went into the kitchen.
Did he describe generally where the noise came from?
No.
Did he say the noise, he heard the noise in his room?
Yes, I assume that's where he heard it, yes.
Did he say that he wanted to go look in the alleyway behind his room?
Well,
Well, I don't know. what you're referring to as an alleyway, but if you're talking about the space behind his room, I'll
That's-
certainly allow him to
that's
answer
what
that
I'm
question.
talking.
Well, I obviously got that impression, yes.
And did you give him a flashlight?
We went and looked for a flashlight. I told him where I thought a flashlight was.
Where?
In the cupboard of my kitchen.
Did you find one?
He looked and said, I never looked. He looked and said it was. I noticed the time about that time and realized I needed to get moving. So I said, why don't you keep looking as I was leaving?
And then you left?
Yes.
And then we should leave. He's got very few minutes left on the tape.
Conversation with Cato, did he tell you yet? Well, we'll stop now because he's out of tape, as you suggest, and we'll resume tomorrow at 9:30.
It's a great segue. Did you leave? And we're all leaving. Wonderful. I don't know what we're going to do about these videotapes.